Hi ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Hoffington Post. You know who I am. I am Theodore Hoffman, and I am here with an amazing lady, woman, strong woman, Rebecca Malone, and she's going to tell you more about who she is and what she does, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
Hello everyone, I am Rebecca Malone and I am part of a few teams, one being the Stephen Arthur brand. I also write books with a team of writers, Casper's Academy, and I do events with entrepreneurs around Birmingham. And that's just a little bit about myself at the moment. I'm sure we'll get into the rest of it a little bit later.
Okay, so I know that you've got a lot of things going on, but what is your primary thing that people know you for?
Possibly working with Stephen Arthur is what people know me for the most. We do Stephen Arthur fashion brand and also the network, network events. So that's possibly what people know me mostly for.
Okay, so in your entrepreneur journey, what was the most toughest period of your journey in entrepreneurship?
Probably at the beginning of working with Stephen, because Stephen was doing some amazing stuff. He'd worked on This Morning and he'd done lots of huge things, and I didn't feel like I was good enough to work alongside him, so I used to hide in the background, and he always used to push me forward, and I wasn't quite confident to be in front of the camera. But yeah, that was probably my hardest time. It's probably growing the confidence. Yeah. Okay,
so having Stephen Arthur, and obviously I know who Stephen Arthur is, and he will boost your confidence. Just a 5-minute chat with him will make you feel like you're a king or a queen. But what else have you had to do personally for yourself to be able to give you that confidence? Because confidence is definitely a massive thing that we needs to be covered more often, because there's a lot of people that don't have the confidence or have the self-esteem to feel like they can put themselves out there, or they're trapped in fear, which keeps the self-esteem low and the confidence low. So what do you do to enable you to be confident on a regular basis? And sometimes that confidence might not be regular. It might be up and down throughout the days, the months, the year, whatever, because of things happen, because that's life. Things happen and we have to just adjust. But what do you do to keep your confidence up?
I think always working on my own personal development, knowing not exactly where I want to be, but who I want to be and what she looks like in the future. Okay,
we're getting deeper.
Yeah.
We're getting into the nooks and crannies now, yeah?
So we can all have careers and, family life, but what does that person that you want to be look like? What does she or he walk and talk and act, and where do they go? Always working on those things. That's what helps me keep growing my confidence. Yeah. Stepping into that person. Being unapologetic about who I want to be in the future, or who I'm growing into. Yeah.
Unapologetic of who you want to be in the future. And I think a lot of entrepreneurs, business people that want to do it, don't really look at that. They just think about the goal, but not necessarily what it takes as a person to get to that goal. So it's great that you mentioned that. Is there any other advice or tips that you could give to the business and the entrepreneurs that are watching and listening?
You've always got to work towards who you want to be, not just in your career. How does that person walk, talk and act and position themselves in the world that? When you start developing that, it makes being an entrepreneur a little bit more easier, because you're going to be more comfortable in front of the people that you want to attract or the people that you want to work with. You're going to feel more comfortable in your own skin. So once you've got that, it gets you a step closer to having those relationships with people or businesses that you actually want to be part of.
Yeah. Okay. So self-evaluation is definitely a massive part of you would say your ritual.
Yeah, definitely.
Would you do this on a daily, weekly, monthly? How do you even reflect on that, or how do you implement that?
So, how do I implement that?
Well,
I suppose it's become so natural to me. I don't think it's even a thought process, but always like doing things like looking at the women that have gone before me. How do they present themselves? How do they? What kind of things do they do? Can I implement some of those things into my life? Not copy them, but maybe adjust it into my own life.
Yeah.
Little tips and hints of what they do.
Okay. I've become, through my journey as an entrepreneur, I've become very self-aware, and I speak to myself on many different ways. It's like times that I feel like, you know what, I can't be bothered or can't be asked or I'm stressed out, I will then sometimes come back with whatever thought I have in my head and say, it's not really a big deal, Theo. Do not stress about it. Or it could be an element of, I am in a great mood. I'm like, yo, Fee, you're absolutely on this. You're on fire today. You're making things happen, speaking to people, this, that, and the other. And it gets me in such a white heat. It's like I keep on pushing more and doing more. But I feel like since I've been at that every single day, I suppose it has, to me, it's become normal. I suppose you have to just start doing it. At first, you probably might think to yourself, it's a bit weird. Me
having a chat with yourself.
Yeah, having a chat with you, checking in. You gotta check in.
You got it.
The more, like, mental health is very important. And I think that is definitely a massive thing that a lot of people, not a massive thing, but it's a very small thing that a lot of people don't take advantage of.
But you gotta even give yourself a room to have bad days and sad days, like we were speaking earlier about having seasons of different types of moods and feelings. Like you gotta allow yourself to go through them and come out the other end. And then, as you said, having gratitude and checking in with people all the time, that's really important. Speaking to them about what they're going through, or even celebrating your friends' like achievements, like, and taking that energy on rather than being the other way around where you take on sad and anger emotions. Like, take on their happy energy and enjoy that and bask in that as well. That helps you to move forward as a person as well.
Definitely. As a woman in business, how does it feel? Because I don't know, and I want like the female audience to be able to resonate to you or look up to you as a person that's like doing it, pushing it, planning, growing, executing. So this is for like the females out there, the males as well, that they'll probably watch this and see inspiration in this. But I really want the female audience to kind of like really learn from someone that's doing it. So how does it feel to be you on the positive perspective, and then throw some negatives out there, because at the end of the day we want to be able to change and make the environment even more accessible to women. And I think we need to have more focus on women in business and in just life in general, loads of things. So I know it's a big question.
No,
it's a big question, but it's loaded as hell. But I want you to just like go in and talk about how important it is, the positives and the negatives.
So
of being a woman in business.
It can be good because we are women, we have our feminine energy and our feminine power. We can definitely bring that to business. And it's just knowing your strengths and weaknesses as a woman, or just as a person in general. Play to those strengths and weaknesses. If you can't get through one route because you're a woman, then utilize the men around you. Like, I've got a great support network of men around me that help me to do anything that I want to do. They don't hinder me, they don't push me aside. They're very aware that women need their space, so I utilize them. If I can't find a way through, I'll get them to open the door for me, and they will allow me to step through. But so sometimes you've got to allow the men around you to open the door for you, so you can, like, just like within chivalry, we want them to open the door, so why not do that in business? Allow them to do step through it, and then you lead. That's how I've got around sometimes being pushed aside as a woman. Nothing's going to stop me doing what I want to do. If I want to do something, I'm going to do it, but I'll just find a different way of doing it. If you don't speak to me first, if you're not going to deal with me, then you're going to deal with, i.e. Stephen, or maybe one of my other business partners, Joseph, like that. But on the plus side is I can command a room sometimes just because maybe the men find me attractive. So it's using those different types of energy to your advantage. At times, that's how I maneuver around the business world.
I don't see that many women in business. I'm not sure if you do, but like, if you was to say that there's like an entrepreneur, a female entrepreneur, or entrepreneurs that are out there, who is it that you get inspiration from? Because I would like to be able to visibly see more female entrepreneurs, but I just don't. I just don't see them, or is it because I don't actively look? From time to time I do. Like, there's a few people that I do know of, but when I think entrepreneurship, I reach out to you.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. There is lots of female entrepreneurs. I suppose that we're like in England. Most people in England don't scream and shout about themselves like the Americans, and if we don't do it, the men don't do it as much, and then the women don't do it even less. But there's some amazing female entrepreneurs out there, like Nicole Riley. Like, oh my God, she's amazing, and like I say to her all the time, she's goals. She's doing some amazing things, but she doesn't get the
credit.
She gets a lot of credit because she gets lots of awards, but probably she's not publicised as much. In like, maybe she should get mainstream media recognition. I think that would be, especially she's a black woman doing her thing, and she's doing pretty incredible. To be honest with you, most of the women around me are amazing business women and doing their thing. It's just that we don't scream and shout about. We don't have a media team posting it all out all over social media, where maybe sometimes the guys do have that stuff. You know, they've got somebody that's publicising them, that's doing all that kind of stuff for them. So yeah, I don't have someone. I wouldn't say that I've got someone that's in the public eye that I go, you're my hero. My heroes are more people that I know in general.
That are around you.
Yeah, you know.
Okay.
My friend, she's a female she's a rap artist, and she's done some incredible things, and she inspires me all the time. So more than people that are on pedestals and really public, people that are
more local.
Close to home.
Okay, cool. That's amazing. So, in your journey, like, actually, what made you get into business? This is a question I usually put right at the start, but we've gotten into quite a few things there. But why did you go into business?
So I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was a full-time carer at the time, and I wanted more, and I didn't know how to get more because I didn't have an education, and I've got dyslexia, so I always struggled academically, and I was like, I didn't feel like I could get a career, and I just wanted to have more and experience more, so I went into creating my own business with a friend, and we started a fashion business, and then slowly grew from there.
Okay, cool. And like, cause I like that, like the conversations that I've been having with more people, except for one of the conversations was more like, my dad was in business, so I didn't quite just follow him, but I just went into business just because I knew that's what I knew. Yeah. Where there's a lot of people that have either worked with companies and stuff like that, had jobs, fed up, and they said, you know what, I want to just take control. So it's just great to hear that people like yourselves, like me, like a lot of people that are out there, probably you guys that are watching and listening, that just want to take control of your life.
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
When you take control of your life and then you make the decisions, it's like, it's no going back. want, especially when you know you're doing something that you love.
Yeah, definitely.
I think that's a common theme with all the conversations in the podcast today and the past few months, to be honest. What out there inspires you? Where do you want to be in the next 5 years?
I want to be in a position.
This is a question that I should have been asking everyone, to be honest, because it is a very good question, and it was on my list. But we're gonna go.
I want to be in a position that I can help people. I've been there, I've done that, and I can help young people, young women to become unapologetically who they want to be. Unapologetically, with no boundaries around them. I need to be in a comfortable space enough to do that. My businesses have grown and they've done what I've wanted them to do, and I can take a step back from them and then push my experience and help grow somebody else to help them be what they want to be. I think that's like the ultimate goal.
That's the ultimate goal.
And also be the person I need to be for whatever my son wants to do in his future. And I think that's one of my driving forces, is that I know my son is, you've met him, he's an incredible young man.
100%.
Knows what he wants to do in life.
Big up to him.
I remember when he was small and I was always like, I need to boss up, because I can't put him out into the world and he's trying to be this person and I ain't ready myself to support him on that level.
Some great motivation there.
Yeah, definitely. So sometimes I look at him and he inspires me, because he will jump on a stage, and I remember when he was young and I was terrified to even stand in front of a camera, and I remember him come on mom, get on the stage, and I just had to swallow that fear and jump on the stage and dance silly, just so he wouldn't be frightened to do it,
Quality. You are an amazing mother. Like, honestly, the level of love and respect that your son has for you is amazing. Like, your bond is like, it's just amazing. No, and like, because he's at that age that he's at right now, he could be like, oh mom, but it's just there's so much respect there. I absolutely love it. It's really, really good, and it's just so nice to see that motivation come from, you know what, I need my son to see that I'm bossing up, so that he can boss up for his future, because that's definitely a part of me as well.
Yeah.
But like, sometimes I think about it, but sometimes it's not always the very first thing, or it's always like, oh, I want to help other people, and then Barley comes in and I'm just like, that's the reason why. And then you just get happy in it. So, but it was just nice, that moment, then just looking at you and just like that heartfelt thing, because the way that I feel that parents have a massive role on their children, and like, if you can show like, listen, you don't necessarily need to work for someone else, you can work for you can work for yourself and make your own money and grow, and like, you can work for other people and learn from them if you want to. I'm not pushing you to do, because from what I see, you don't really push them to do things that you want them to do. You just make it open and accessible.
Definitely.
And he just gravitates to all the right things, which is really, 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 really nice. So the big goal is to be helping people in the next 5 years, develop themselves, and develop themselves in what way? Obviously, probably finding out more about who they are. But I know that there's many different compartments to you that you like to help other people with.
So just like, more so growing their personality, who what is there, like, we all know who we want to be, but society pushes rules on us and kind of puts us into a box and tells us who we should be. Even social media does it. Until you have a look inside yourself and start accepting, this is who I am, you're not going to find full fulfillment.
I didn't even think about what you just said there. Kind of blew my mind because I wasn't even looking at it. It was like, how society shape you? And I'm like, society don't shape me, but then some people don't know who they are, what they want to be, because of what other people say and other things say. So you literally blew my mind then, because I was just thinking to myself, oh, you're right, still. I've had a few conversations the past few days and with friends, and they're just like, I don't know who I am and all these other questions. I was like, I suppose I just clearly know who I am, but then there's a lot of people that probably don't know who they are yet because of society. But carry on. Sorry,
you've never been given the room to figure out who you are, or people put your career is who you are when that's not who you are, or that you're a parent and that's not who you are either. Who you are is. It's a feeling, it's an act, it's a persona. That's who you are. And you've got to figure that out, and then once you've started to unravel that, then you can figure out what career you want, what kind of path you want to take in life, and what kind of parent you're going to be. Even like this, talking down to parenting, you can get very much pushed into a box of what you should do as a parent. I've very much been, if you ask my son, I'm an unconventional parent. I don't follow the rules of what parents should be. But then that you can have parents around you that will frown upon that, and then that will push you back into the box. But once you know you know who you are, and you are ultimately that person, no one else can shake that. No one else can shake you, and I'm sure you understand that, because you said you know exactly who you are, and nothing can come along and change or maneuver or mold that. So
we'll talk, and I think, I don't know, it's literally what you just said, what you just mentioned kind of blew me away, because I don't really think about, I've always been one to kind of push back on when anyone says that you got to be this or you got to be that. I'm like, hell no, I'm going to break that whole period. I don't care what anyone says. So for you to mention that, it made me realise, that is true, and especially with the conversations that I've been having with like a few friends recently.
But also, you don't have to push. You don't have to push back on anyone. Like if they say that you should be that way or you shouldn't be that way, you don't have to disagree with them. You don't have to say anything. You can just go, okay, and then move away. Keep doing it.
True. I always go back to it because it was just like, I just know that this is your thing. Because like from Creators Club, you spoke about the same thing, and you opened up some mental things for myself, and I was just like, bro, I was right. But like, I feel like every single time that we speak and have this type of conversations, you're always talking about that same one thing. So I can't wait for the next 5 years for you to be working on people and actually breaking them down and building them up. Because it's a real reality that some people really don't know themselves, and it's only coming to light now, me more thinking about it now, that there's so many people that I've been speaking to that really don't know themselves.
But sometimes I think that when you go to life coaches or personal development people, they very much sometimes push on their ideals of what you should be, where it's not for anybody else to say. Everything that you are or supposed to be is in there. It's just sometimes you need to be given the permission to start being that person, or the room, the space for it. And I think that's where my strengths lies, that I'm happy to give someone permission and space to just grow as a person.
So Rebecca, we would like some practical advice on how we could start transforming ourselves to be the people that we want to be. What practical advice could you give to us, the viewers and listeners? What can you give to us that we can start implementing or writing down or start doing, so we can start becoming more of our real selves for our business and for our lives?
So I think that probably one of the most easiest exercises that I'd probably get everyone to do is think about your ultimate you. Like, who is that person?
Mm-hmm.
What do they look like? Imagine, what do they look like? How do they stand?
Yeah.
How do they talk?
Mm-hmm.
What are they wearing?
I hope you got your pens, your pens out, the paper out, get your phone out or something.
What kind of environment are they in? Really
Yeah.
think about that, and then step into that person. Like, close your eyes and imagine yourself stepping into that person. And once you're in that person, look around, feel yourself, and then walk around in that and just imagine yourself being that person. And then from there, then start finding little things that you can start adding to your life that can start creating that person. It might be something really, really tiny, like it might be a ring,
Mm-hmm.
or it might be a new hairstyle,
Mm-hmm.
it might be a new pair of shoes, it might be a new aftershave,
Mm-hmm.
but every now and then just keep adding tiny little bits, and slowly over time, there's this theory called the compound effect.
Mm-hmm.
Before you know it, you will be that person.
Yeah. Okay. I like that. I like it a
It's
lot.
a tiny little exercise that you can try.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree to it. I definitely agree to it. I think it takes time to get into that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it takes time to get into that, because I can actually think about when I was used to just think about having to, okay, when I was sitting, I usually like sit up to feel good and
Yeah,
just
yeah.
like do specific things that make me feel, you know what, I'm the man.
Yeah, yeah, and it's correcting yourself all the time.
Yeah.
It's time. It might even be correcting the way that you, like you said, you sit,
Mhm.
because you might be this person that's always like that, always like slumped up and stuff. But really, you want to be this professional person, so you've got to keep adjusting, having words with yourself, like
Yeah.
sit straight.
Yeah.
You know, like you
Yeah.
would with a child.
Mhm.
It's just those tiny little details, and they start adding up to the bigger picture.
Definitely.
And before you know it, then you're this person that you always imagined yourself to be.
Hmm. Especially like when I got a trim, I'm like, yo, straight 10 out of 10.
Yeah. And take a picture of yourself
Yeah.
feeling good, even if you don't know how to take the picture, but at least that's a reminder. If you don't feel comfortable in front of the camera, but you feel yourself that day, and you can look back on that picture and you remember how you felt in those clothes.
Yeah.
And then you can, and like then keep trying to emulate those kind of feelings with
Mhm.
different experiences.
Course. I think you're completely correct. Definitely, like definitely. I feel like now you say that, like I know who I am, but sometimes it's just nice to have those extra feelings.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, because I genuinely, I wake up and I'm like, yeah, boss mode, doing my thing. Things are happening. I'm gonna create. I am a creator. I'm a businessman. And sometimes I do say those things to myself, those affirmations that make me feel like, yeah, I'm in mode right now. And it helps me compose myself and remain in myself.
Yeah.
It is like an alter ego, but it is me. Like, it's another part of me for the, like, in my business.
It's your unapologetic you, isn't it?
Yeah, like,
If we have this thing that, oh, we've got, you know, alter ego's bad. Alter ego ain't bad. It's
Mhm.
just you unleashed onto the world.
yeah,
Just that most of the time we're trying to be PC about who we are.
yeah.
You know?
I hear ya. Real talk.
And we only allow that side of us to come out when we're really with our friends, our close friends and stuff like that.
Mhm.
But that's probably what the world really wants. They want to see that side of you. That's what connects you to people. That's what, you know, them little bite-sized pieces that you allow out to the world. That's what people gravitate to.
Mhm.
I know that me and my friend, we always talk about I'm a rich...
You can say it.
I'm a rich bitch, and it's our favourite joke to say.
Trust me, you see the Instagram. Rich bitch everywhere.
Rich. That's our alter egos.
Yeah.
That's who we really want to be, and not rich as in money, rich as in experiences,
Yeah.
and, you know, living luxury within ourselves and externally. So,
Mhm.
and not necessarily being a bitch, because we're not bitches, but it's just an expression that makes us feel good. So,
Yeah.
living it that as much as we can. So, I find the more you say things that you want out loud, the more it gravitates to you.
Yeah.
So that rich bitch is literally, I definitely want to be a rich bitch and
Mhm.
be able to pass the wealth onto other people.
Yeah, I love it. 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 I swear.
Maybe win a book one time. I was at an event and the guy said, stand up and say what you want to be. And I was like, I want to be a rich bitch. Everyone laughed. And then I won a book. I was like, this is great.
Serious, honestly. What would you say to your younger self? What would you say to your 20-year-old self?
Who you really want to be is possible. You will achieve that.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't feel like it's reachable or accessible,
Mm-hmm.
but it bloody is, like, seriously. Mm-hmm. If I could speak to her now, she probably wouldn't recognize me.
Yeah.
Not at all. Not even the way that I speak, the way that I dress, like, but she didn't believe that this
Could exist. Mm-hmm.
Or even the friendships and everything around me, she just wouldn't believe it.
Mm-hmm. Transformation.
Yeah, and you're allowed to transform. You don't have to be that person that everybody tells you. You don't have to worry about people saying, don't forget who you are or where you come from. Like, I'll never forget who I was or where I came from, and but that doesn't mean that I have to stay being that person. Like, I would tell her, you don't have to be the person that you are. There's so much more out in the world, and even at what I have now, there's so much more that we're going to achieve. Like,
so the other thing is for young women right now, what advice would you give them if they're looking at getting into business?
just have a go. Just have a go. Even whatever happens, you're going to have some great experiences. You're going to meet some interesting and amazing people. Like, just have a go. Nothing, you can't lose at trying to do business. The only thing you'll do is learn. Like, really go for it. Be whoever you want to be. Absolutely. And try and create a network around you. Gravitate to people that are like-minded. You need the like-minded people. Your network is your net worth. And I know we sing and dance about that all the time, but it's a mantra. It's something that I believe so hard because, as I said, I didn't have an education in the beginning, so everything that I've achieved has definitely been through building networks and relationships. Yeah. So build those networks and those relationships and have a go.
Okay. This is just because I know who you are. Obviously, you've been saying about the events. But I want to get into, like, networking is a massive part of you. And networking is a massive part of you. So, like, for those that are networking now, I know it's a lot different at the moment. We're going through COVID, everyone's stuck at home, everything's digital. But I want to get some points from you that you can give to the viewers and the listeners that could help them network when they go out, but then also digitally. So what advice could you give for both?
Ooh, I suppose when they go out is just be yourself. And if you find someone that you find a connection with, go with it. Like, especially because people buy into people. It doesn't matter what kind of business it is.
What advice could you give to anyone that wants to be in networking in the physical, but in the digital as well?
Okay, then. Build relationships with people. Don't just make it about business. Make it a bit more friendly. Ask them how they're doing, check-ins, things like that helps a lot. Because business can be really cold at times. And lonely. We all in the same boat, so why not just like, how are you doing, how's life? And just make it a little bit more softer and a bit more personal. People buy into people. If you can connect on a friendly level, then I'm more likely that in the future I'm going to think of you when I'm thinking about that thing that you're doing in business I'm going to go directly to you. So building those relationships, even if it is via a video call or a phone call, or even a text message at times. Sometimes it's nice just to get someone going, how are you doing? I hope you're having a great Sunday or something like that. It's a nice little spark of happy energy, and try and keep it happy and light.
Of course. We are going to wrap this up now, but one thing that I've really taken away from today is that I'm going to start writing more about myself on piece of paper or on a whiteboard.
Oh yeah.
Because I definitely know who I am, but I think there's sections of myself that I need to remember, you know what?
Yeah.
That's me. Or I probably need to go shopping a little bit more, or just do a little bit more for myself. Which, yeah, I think I probably need to do, but I definitely get your notepad out, write it down on a piece of paper, and rewind this if you need to, and listen back to what you're saying, because I'm hearing some gems. Yeah, so Rebecca Malone, what you talked about today has been amazing. It's been an eye-opener for me. I'm definitely going to write down my persona on a piece of paper on my whiteboard, because I feel like I need that. I need to go and buy myself some clothes and stuff like that to make me not feel good, but fit more into my business role.
Do you know how you can start doing that? One more tip. Make a Pinterest board of all the stuff that you ultimately want to wear, even if it's like that Versace suit. Like, make this board, and then you'll find when you go shopping and you don't know what to buy, look at your board and you're like, okay, it might not be Versace, but it's H&M and it's that same style.
I feel you. I've been wanting to get a mood board together. It's been way too long. I need to get that together, to be fair, but that's one thing I'm going to do. If you haven't yet, please write it down, create your mood board. Listen back to this a few times, because repetition makes things sink in a hell of a lot more better. But Rebecca Malone, it's been a pleasure having you on. But could you tell the viewers your social media platforms that you're on, your handles, so they can follow you? Yeah,
so I am on Facebook and Instagram, Rebecca Malone UK, in LinkedIn, Rebecca Malone. And I think that's about it. I think
cool.
You can find some of the work that I've done on the network.education, on Casper's Academy. You'll find my book on there. Then that's about it.
Cool. It's been a pleasure having you. Thank you very much. You made me reevaluate myself. And in a positive way, because obviously we're all trying to be better, do better, have more and grow.
Yeah, definitely.
So I hope you like this video. Please like, share and comment. Comment something like a question that you want me or Rebecca to reply back to. Show some love to some people by sharing this, and like as well. You know how to get in contact with me. My social media is down below. If you got any questions, please just email me. I'll get back to you, or DM me. I'll get back to you straight up. But thank you very much for watching the Hoffington Post, and thank you very much, Rebecca Malone, for being on the Huffington Post.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care, and I'll see you on the next podcast.